Welcome back. It's being called a love story for the ages. Let There Be Light hits select theaters tomorrow, and I got a chance to catch up with actors Kevin and Sam Sorbo who helped put the whole project together. Take a look.
Well, I was kind of annoyed with the stuff that was coming out of Hollywood and the mainstream media, the negativity and stuff. And it occurred to me one day, what would it look like if the world's greatest atheist had a crisis of faith? And I thought more about it. I fleshed out a little bit of an idea, and I thought, you know, this would make a really good movie. So I approached a friend of mine who's a very good screenwriter named Dan Gordon. He wrote The Hurricane with Denzel Washington. And I told him the idea. When he heard the idea, he jumped right in because it's a human drama. It's challenging for a writer to write really great dialogue for characters to really dig their teeth into. And then about 2 weeks later, Sean Hannity called my husband out of the blue and said, hey, I want to produce a faith-based movie, and I want to work with you. Do you have anything? So the three of us flew to New York and pitched Sean, and after half an hour he jumped in with both feet, wrote us a check, and funded the entire project, and that's how this movie came about. It's really quite amazing.
Money never changes a project.
Changes a project, no. The project always chases the money, and the project usually runs out of breath before the money does. So this is really amazing, and less than 2 years later we're sitting with a finished film that's opening in theaters this weekend. We're very excited.
Yeah, that is. It's always funny to see how life works out and just pieces fall into place, and you don't notice it until you look back over the last 6 months to a year and see, oh, that's what that connection meant. But I got to ask, the piece and the movie, again, very powerful, an atheist, you know, crisis of faith. Was any of this personal? You draw on personal experience besides seeing the negativity in the media, but was any of this kind of a personal struggle of your own?
Yeah.
Well, Dan, I mean, they both put a piece of their lives in there. I mean, with Dan, I mean, we have a death of a child in this movie that had happened 8 years earlier, and Dan experienced that thing with his own son, who was killed in a car accident.
Yeah, and I don't know that he ever had a crisis of faith per se, but he, you know, he struggled with just dealing with
the character development of my character.
Because the movie deals with grief, it deals with fatherhood, and being a good father as opposed to being an absentee father and stuff like that. And so, you know, when you're writing this kind of thing, of course you're drawing on your own experience because you couldn't write it otherwise. So yeah, it obviously has a genesis from personal experience for sure.
Yep.
And a follow-up question there. I mean, obviously right now it's a pretty chaotic time all across the globe, not just here in the States. But do you guys see a parallel in the chaotic world and the rise of a lot more faith-based films?
Oh, no question. I mean, it's been, I think, for the last 10 years, there's been more and more and more made because people want this. People want movies that are uplifting, movies that have a positive message to them. I think people are tired of the constant sort of same themes that come out of Hollywood all the time. They want something that they can relate to. Characters, I call these movies like this actors' movies. And I say that because the writers did such a great job of creating characters that people can relate to, that people can identify with. And you can go through this movie, this roller coaster ride with Let There Be Light and be on this journey with what all the characters really have to go through to sort of come together at the end of the movie. It's a very touching, very heartwarming, it's very funny in places as well, but it's a wonderful movie. I'm very proud of it.
People have said it's a movie that makes you want to laugh and cry and stand up and cheer, and that was our goal, was to create basically a film like Hollywood used to make, and like those perennial favorites that we always put on because they make us feel good. Even if we've seen them 100 times, they still make us feel good. And that's what this movie does. People leave the theater feeling uplifted and hope-filled. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to push back a little bit of the darkness with some light.
Very cool, very cool. Appreciate you joining us. Good luck on the opening. It's this weekend, right? The 27th, I believe it opens. And
it's this weekend. Go to lettherebelightmovie.com, and it's at Avenue Stadium 20, at Tinseltown 20, and at the
Regency 24.
AMC Regency 24.
That's it.
So go to lettherebelightmovie.com and check it out. There are theaters, there's the testimonial videos. You'll see what other people are saying about the movie and lots more stuff.
And if it's not at a theater near you, you can go to that theater and say, this is what we're going to do.
Call the theater and ask to have it near you.
Guys.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Love it. Thanks, guys. Kevin, next time you're in town, hit me up. We'll grab Jim and go play 18.
We'll definitely do that. Sounds good to me.
Very cool. I'm going to play golf with Kevin Sorbo and Jim Furyk. Special thanks to Atlas Distribution Company for making that segment possible. We'll be right back. A little bit more left. Oh, yeah. Get in tighter.